Hello, it's Dr. Rowe. Hope you're well. I wanted to talk to you today about this subject. Yes, assertiveness, not my bald head, but up there. Now, this is a subject that comes up throughout our lives, whether you're a young teenager and you're wanting to be more assertive in a social environment, or possibly you're going in to get a job or whatever it is, and you're learning to communicate for the first time really in a broader area, and suddenly you're coming across confrontations. Or it might be that you're just older and that you've always grown up with this feeling of you want to get a message out, but you're just not very assertive in a certain environment. It might be one-to-one, might be in front of a group, might be when you're put under pressure. It may be that you're somebody that just wants to be more assertive on a personal level in your own relationships. There's so many different areas that this comes in, and it is a really powerful skill. And trust me, it is a skill that anyone can learn. Bear in mind that I've been in this field now for over 30 years. I've traveled and taught and spoken to audiences, hundreds of thousands of people globally. My experiences both in business, in the field that I'm in communication, but I find as well in intimate relationships with people, there are times when you do need to be a little bit more assertive. And that doesn't mean to be aggressive or bullying or anything like that. There can be specific techniques you can use to be that little bit more assertive, to hold your ground, to really get your message across. And that's really what assertiveness is about. It's about saying, this is who I am, this is what I believe, and this is my message, and I'd like you to listen to that. But it's just how you do that in a way that isn't aggressive, but at the same time allows you to stand your ground and be seen for who you are. So I've got 4 things I wanted to share with you, 4 very important points that I think if you master these, it will genuinely improve your assertiveness skills. Now, if any of you watching this has been through any of my CWI programs, Communicating with Impact, you'll know that there's 38 components that integrate really well together. And when brought together at certain times, certain components, it's a bit like making a recipe up, can really give it a wow, boom, and create more impact. So I'm going to pull some of those out for you now. And one of them is physiology. So when I'm teaching people to get into any form of communication, one of the first things I encourage them to do is to review their physiology. So assertiveness can be seen very easily through our physiology. Somebody is down, their shoulders are down, they're shrugging, they're turning away, their eyes just have a little bit of doubt in them, the eyebrows, anything like that, our breathing patterns, our overall physiology, that can massively impact the way we are perceived by the other person. And remember, assertiveness is also, as much as it's about you delivering, it's also about the other person looking at you and saying, how do I perceive this person here? So getting that tonality in your voice is important, but not as important initially as getting your physiology right. So that means standing your ground. Imagine, one of the things I teach people is imagine that you're standing, and you can try this in front of a mirror. You're standing in front of somebody and you have roots going down through your legs into the ground. So you're absolutely centered and anchored down into the ground there. A storm can't blow you over. Also, rather than bobbing around a lot, imagine your energy is going down through the hara, through the core of who you are here, and then down into the ground. A nice calm energy. That's when we're centering ourselves, and we want to be assertive without being aggressive. So I can be firm, and I can use certain things, like I can turn my head slightly, I can look as I'm speaking like this, and I can show that I believe in what I'm doing. My hands are another great way to get a message across. I can use this to make my points, which is something to practice. A simple technique is just, and this is going to come to what we're going to talk about in a minute, which is number 2, which is your clear outcome. So one of the things I like to do is tie my physiology to the messages that I want to say. I can use my hands, I can use my fingers, and I can use my face to nod as I'm saying certain things. And that's a great technique to practice, as opposed to looking away and looking nervous and saying, well, yeah, I really do believe this, as opposed to, yeah, I really do believe this. Boom, hands out, body language, all aligned. Everything has to be in alignment. The thing about physiology, if anything slightly misaligned, they will read that as you not feeling or being assertive in your nature. Number 2 is you have to have a clear outcome. So one of the biggest challenges, of course, is when people communicate and they're a bit nervous and they want to be assertive. They're so focused on, oh my gosh, am I going to get this right? Do I look confident? What if I mess up? They completely forget the outcome. The great thing with any communication is the clearer you are about your outcome, the more assertive you can be, the more firm you can be, because you know this is what I stand for, this is my core outcome I'm looking to achieve, and I want you, the person that's listening to me, to understand this is what my outcome is. If there's too many things that are distracting, too many outcomes, and you may have heard me talk about this in other videos, because in the communication system, it's a massive element of it, is people go, but I'm distracted by what you're saying, because you're saying one thing over here, you're saying one thing over here, you're saying one thing over here, you're saying one thing down there. And of course, anytime somebody's unstable or you're unstable, you don't come across as being assertive. So make sure that whatever you're trying to get across, you have a very clear outcome. Where do you want to take this conversation? What's the outcome? How do you want to walk away from this communication or this presentation with the person or those people you're communicating with? Number 3 is, attached to that, have a simple message or simple messages. So if your outcome is to sell somebody on something, or to come and join you on an idea or a project, come and be part of my project, and you need to be assertive about that, then there needs to be maybe, what will be your 3 key reasons? What will be your 3 key reasons why they would want to come and join you on that project? Not multiple reasons. You should do it because of this. It's too confusing. Think about what you can say that has impact. So you can say, well, first reason is we're going to have a lot of fun. The second reason is, by coming and doing this, I think you're going to grow and learn a lot from it. And the third thing is, it's going to give you and I a chance to have more time together, because we haven't done that for so long. 3 things. Boom, boom, boom. So I've got a clear outcome. Come and join me on my project. And 3 specific messages tucked behind that outcome. Those messages are the things that push the actual delivery of what you're trying to say in the direction you want it to go. And notice I'm using my physiology a lot whilst I'm speaking here as well. And then the last thing is using your tonality and the eyes whilst you're speaking. So as I'm delivering my message to you, if you notice, what I'm doing is, the first reason is more personal. So I might say, right, I've got 3 messages. I've got an outcome. Come and do this amazing project with me. We're going to spend a week together. Why should I do that? Well, first thing is, you know what? We're going to spend more time together. And I'm really excited about it. We haven't spent, look at the last time we had any time together was boom, 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 whenever it was. And then the next one could be more logical. So you could use your hands, or you could lean forward. The tonality has 38% impact, whereas physiology is like 50% impact in our communication. So I want to use my eyes. Remember, if I start looking around, I see quite a lot of people communicate and they do this. They go, yeah, it's really important that you join me on this. And they flick their eyes up for a minute and they look away. Do you really believe in the project you're doing? They ask you that question. You go, yeah, I really do believe in the project. My eyes are down. They're not really. Of course I believe in it. You know what? When we do this, you're going to see how much I believe in it. So my physiology, my tone comes up. It rises to the message. And my eyes are looking straight at that person. It's not like a 1,000-yard stare, but it's an engagement. I want them to be able to look into my soul and feel how important this is to me. I can turn my body off and just go, I really can't wait for you to join me. You can even point to that space where you want them to join you. So physiology, very important. Clear outcome, so you know where you want to take them to, and then what messages are going to help them lead you there, and then lead them there, and then finally, using your tone and your eyes, really engage with them. And if you practice this technique alone, just these 4 things, you'll find that you'll feel more assertive, but other people will be more engaged with you as well, which is a whole different conversation altogether. Anyway, hopefully that was useful. It'd be great for you to share how you're using this. What are these techniques doing for you? Are they working for you? Remember to follow, subscribe, like us, and come and join us on the Cicado Show. We have a podcast called the Cicado Show. If you go to www.cicado.com/podcasts, and you can learn more on general communication, but also on personal development as well. It's Dr. O signing out. See you on the next post.